Hello everybody, welcome to Tpull's Corner. September rotation is come and gone, and we've got the new cards, the old cards we can no longer play with. So we're experimenting with Teleportation Circle. You've heard of Breaking Bad? Welcome to Blinking Black. This was the first thoughts that came into my head. It's probably got to be changed up a little bit, because all I did was start with the concept of Teleportation Circle, and I chose cards that have an impact when they enter the battlefield. So the 4 Charm Strays are there with the idea that I can get 1 Charm Stray down, get a Teleportation Circle down, and then as soon as I get a second cat, I can keep blinking it out at the end of each turn and increasing the first cat. Portable Hole is great for using on tokens, and then you can blink them out with Teleportation Circle and tamp down on a regular creature. Impassioned Orator, when another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. So we'll just blink out, we'll leave Impassioned Orator there. We can blink out any other creature and get a life. Potion of Healing gets us to draw an extra card each turn if we blink that out. Skyclave Cleric gives us an extra tap land and gives us another way to gain life. 4 Elderfang Disciples, each opponent discards a card. If I can get a circle paired up with a disciple and make them discard something every single turn, that might be a good deal. Lithiform Blight, draw a card advantage. Poet's Quill, we can learn each time. Cleric of Life's Bond, when another cleric enters the battlefield, we gain 1 life. So then we would blink out, if we already had Cleric of Life's Bond out and Impatient Orator, we might blink out the Orator, because when we blink him back in, the cleric gains the life, and we can plus him up. So that's better than just the Impassioned Orator by itself. Spare Supplies, enters the battlefield, blink it out, draw a card each turn. Maul of Skyclaves, this could give us defense against flying, or give us an offense because they don't have flyers. But if we have a couple of different creatures, we could attack with it and then blink it out and move it over to somebody else to use on defense at the next turn. Sparring Regiments, we could use that to blink it out. Oh no, we can't use it on enchantments, sorry. So these come in and they stay. That's good enough. We don't need to blink those out. 1 copy of Demon's Disciple. When he enters the battlefield, each player sacrifices a creature or planeswalker. If they have 2 creatures and you want to get rid of the bigger one, and you know they're not going to go for that, you can sacrifice one of your other creatures, have them chump block, their sacrifice. But if you have Teleportation Circle out, you can blink out the Disciple again, blink him in. Even if he's your only creature left, you sacrifice him, you get rid of the big threat that was about to kill you. So this is a way that if you have it paired up with Teleportation Circle, you can use it, and even if your enemy has something that's about to kill you and he has another creature, you can still get around it. 4 Vampire Spawns, when they enter the battlefield, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. So you get that, just one of those down paired with Teleportation Circle. If he doesn't go away, that's going to add up. Dueling Coach to put counters on somebody every turn. 2 of the circles. Jarl of the Forsaken, when he enters the battlefield, destroy target creature, planeswalker, and opponent controls that was dealt damage this turn. This is kind of fun because no matter what or when you damage something, if you just have the zombie cleric set off to the side and then blink him out with the circle, you can destroy something every turn if there's been a battle. Skeleton Archer, they deal 1 damage to any target, so if you got the 1/1 aggro's coming at you, you can blink him out and bring him back in. And there's a fun trick with Gelatinous Cube where we can engulf a creature, dissolve them if we have enough mana. Maybe we have to wait a turn to dissolve them, but when we're ready, we can blink him out, put him back in, and have him engulf yet another creature and keep going with him. Shepherd of the Cosmos, when he enters the battlefield, return target permanent card with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard. So if they've destroyed your cats, if they've destroyed your portal holes, if they destroyed any of these things, or maybe you've sacrificed your Potion of Healing, bring it back with Shepherd of the Cosmos. Baleful Beholder, there's 2 choices you can make. Creatures you control gain menace until end of turn, or an opponent sacrifices an enchantment. This is a nice way to recycle an ability to destroy enchantments if your opponent has more than 1. Pair it up with the circle. And Black Dragon, flyer. We do need some flying defense, right? When he enters the battlefield, target creature gets -3/-3 until end of turn. Imagine if we can keep blinking that in and out. Alright, now we're already at 62 cards. I've made some omissions with the first concept because I've looked only at what I want to do and I haven't considered what my opponent's going to deal. So I don't have as much in the way of removal for the bigger creatures, right? I got 3 portholes and that's about it. I do have the Black Dragon, but yeah, only 1 copy. You notice I don't have any dual lands yet. So this is just the very first concept, slap together the things that I liked, and I'm going to go out and try this out. I should lose my first round. I'm going to record that. I'm going to play it back. I'm going to include it here, and then we'll come back and do a deck tweak, and you'll see what I do in my deck construction that helps make it get better so it can last. And this is just kind of a nice tutorial using the new modern standard that we're going to be in for the next year, using all these new cards. I don't have much in the way of Innistrad cards yet, so sorry. I'll add those into my decks as I start winning battles and getting those packs and winning those cards. Alright. Before I forget, you're at Tpull's Corner. This is Travis. We'd like to ask you to like and subscribe, and share the video with a friend. Here we go. One land? Seriously. We're making it 2. I think I made a mistake. I don't think I filled out my sideboard yet. I usually get a prompting for that. We'll check next turn and see. This is the very first playtest. I haven't put together the intro. I'm not sure if these are the cards I'm going to use or not, but if this is the life gain deck and there's 4 Trillisaurus, then I'm already feeling good about that. Okay, I need a swamp to put out Poet's Quill. I need swamp for everything else. What am I talking about? I didn't put in any dual lands yet. The vampire spawns are just going to slow their life gain, actually. If they get momentum and get underway, I'm not sure what I can do here. Portable Hole can't stop those guys. And I need 1 more dark mana for those. Let's do that again then. I'm willing to trade with you while you're still low health. Low toughness, I should say. You should be willing to trade 1, right? Look at the health difference. Are you worried yet? Oh, he's thinking hard. I think he's going to let it go through. Yeah, he wants to increase their health and increase their damage. I need my second dark mana because I need to equip that, and then I'll have to wait a whole nother turn just to equip it after I summon it. How many creatures we got in the top 5 here? Got a Righteous Valkyrie and a Lunarch Veteran. That is not the color that I wanted. Select card, discard to draw a card. What? Since when do I have to do that? Okay. Swing in and hit while we can. Is that new, or if you didn't fill out a sideboard, you have to discard and then draw a card? That's not a function of Poet's Quill by itself. It still didn't attack. Interesting. Okay. So we will take you out of the equation. And we'll take you out of the equation. Alright, let's go ahead and dissolve. Let's see, he's got 3. No attacks. Why not? That's a disgusting card. I don't have any way to reach that up there. So that's my only choice for that. Okay, and that didn't make me discard and draw a card, but I didn't have any cards left. Okay, so let's go ahead and attack. If he wants to kill him, he's going to have to double block, so I'll get to take out at least one of them. The problem is, his flyer has lifelink. He's going to spend a lot of time thinking about that. He took the damage. Interesting. I guess he didn't have to worry about it that much. With the Harbinger, he can just create the 4/4 flyers and get his life right back. I could really use my Teleportation Circle right about now, but I haven't put in the sorceries to search for it yet. Things to do, things to do. So what happens when you have an idea and you don't stop to do your normal deck construction? I'm going to let all that through. It's going to make me half dead. And he's going to have 2 blockers. So I can only do 3 points of damage that can get through. So I'm dead next turn. If I move this somewhere else, does it matter? He just has to block one. But I am going to get the lifelink. So he saves the angel. Is that going to doom me? Right now that gives him 22 damage. He can bring him back though, can't he? Or is he's just exiled and he can't come back? Oh no, you can cast it from your graveyard. I got a land. Alright, so that's the initial deck concept. It wasn't bad overall, but I've got a few tweaks that I have to make before it's competitive. We'll show you those. This will be your guide. Okay, I did what I normally do, which is I come up with a concept, I mash together cards, and I run out really quick just to see how it operates, and I get soundly slaughtered, and then I come back to the drawing board. So here's where I do some of the fundamental things that you need to do when you're doing deck construction. And they're the things that, you'd think I'd have memorized by now, but I always have to, just rush out and just see what happens with the initial cards that I had the idea for first, and then I go back and tweak it. So, but if you want to do like proper deck building from the get-go, you should always keep these things in mind. So we're going to do two things immediately. We're going to fix our lands a little bit, and we're going to make sure that our sideboard is in place. Because the first battle that we did there was no sideboard, right? And we had Poet's Quill, and that has Learn. Now, you might say, why do you have 7? Because you only have one card that has Learn. And that's true, and that might be okay for other decks to say, okay, I'm just going to have 4 or 5 cards that I think I might use, and that's fine. In this case, I have Teleportation Circle, and I have 2 copies of it, so I might be able to blink out Poet's Quill again and again and raid my sideboard and use all of them at some point if the game goes on that long. Even if I didn't have Teleportation Circle, even if I still only had 1 Learn card, these give you options. These are all free spells. Even if you only get 1 of them, it's good to have all 7 filled because you don't know going into the battle what you're going to need. You might have a land crunch and you need to go get a specific white or black card in order to cast your spell. You might have an enchantment you don't have any other way to get rid of, and you need to get Introduction to Annihilation instead. Maybe you have a flyer and you don't have flyers out right now, but with the Learn card you could go get one and have an easy chump blocker. It gives you options. Even if you don't have a Learn card in your own deck, what if you're playing with blue cards and you have a control spell and you take control of a creature or an enchantment that has Learn from your opponent? Then you'd have the opportunity to Learn, but you'd have an empty sideboard. So consider what your deck is capable of. Consider what might happen. Maybe you might end up, your enemy trades 2 creature cards with you, and he gives you a creature card that has Learn, and he takes, like your Black Dragon because it's so much more powerful. That's nice, but you have the opportunity to learn. You could go in and have access to a card like Introduction to Annihilation, get rid of your own Black Dragon as a threat, and keep his creature that he just traded you, right? So even if you don't have a card that you think would let you learn at some point, you don't know how the battle's going to go. Your enemy might have an occasion where he sees it as a lesser threat to give you a card that has the learn capability. And if he sees that you don't have Learn, he might be willing to do that because he thinks your sideboard is empty. So what I'm saying is, in the age of Strixhaven, which we're going to be in that situation for quite a while, always go ahead and stock your sideboard with 7 Strixhaven cards that have lessons. That's my advice. Okay, now we're going to go on and fix the lands real quick. And by fix, we're not too far off, right? Because it's 54% white spells, 46% black spells. So 12 and 12 isn't too bad overall. But there's Cave of the Frost Dragon right there. I want to copy that. And let's see, Hive of the Eye Tyrant. We want that for black land. And that means we'll go ahead and get rid of a plain and a swamp. We also want the pathways to give us options so that we don't get stuck on land. I only have 2 of the white-black pathways, so we'll put those in now. And again, get rid of a plain and a swamp so that we're keeping fairly steady at 10, 20, 22, 23, 24 lands. I run under the artificial limitation because I like to show free-to-play players that you can build good decks without spending money and without blowing through all your wild cards. So I've got plenty of wild cards right now. I'm laboring under an artificial limitation where I'm not spending them right now. But if you got wild cards to spare, there's no reason for you to labor under that artificial limitation, right? So if you don't have all 4 of these, that's a good investment to get to just go ahead and get all of the different pathways while we can have access to, like the Zendikar, the Kaldheim. Those are all good stuff. Okay, what else do we want to do? We want to talk about the Snarls. Snarls come in tapped if you don't want to reveal something, but if you have a plains or a swamp card in your hand, you could reveal it and it comes in and it's not tapped. So those are good. They're not the full disadvantage that just a card that comes in tapped all the time causes you. So again, we'll go ahead and reduce the plains and swamps by 1 because we put 2 of those in there. And then consider that we're putting in Cave of the Frost Dragon and Hive of the Eye Tyrant. We might want to consider Faceless Haven. I'm not sure if I want to put that in or not, but we might come across it. So we need to do, not runes plural, but there, Field of Ruin. I'm going to put in 1 more land, so we'll be at 25, but I don't really count Field of Ruin as land. I count it as something that if they put out a Hive of Eye Tyrant or one of the other Forgotten Realms cards, that we can get rid of it. Also good for eliminating Crawling Barrens and Faceless Havens, that kind of thing. All right, now we're not completely done with the deck tweaking. We're not really finished. There's some things we haven't done yet, but we are going to take it out for another spin and just see if we do better. All right, here we go. Okay, you can see that we put in a couple of specialty lands and we've already gotten 2 of them out of our 3 lands up front. And I consider that to be a good thing. It gives us options. So we'll put down Frost Dragon first, because that way it comes in not tapped. Then we'll bring in the other planes and we'll get a little Skyclave Cleric. And since we have 3 of those, I guess we'll get rid of 1 of those. The black comes in. What do we want to do? We really want the Sparring Regimen. And do we want more land, or do we want something else? Let's do Introduction to Prophecy. And we're already pumping up our counters. Decklist. Wants to give him vigilance, huh? Not good, not good. Okay, let's do the prophecy, see what else is out there. Land and Jarl. We'll take Jarl. And let's get rid of this. And let's go ahead and attack now, and we'll see if he wants to trade or not. He takes the damage. Hopefully he doesn't have a second gelatinous cube already. No, but he did go ahead and get rid of my stuff. Alright, let's get rid of that one. We continue to attack. We continue to increase our life and decrease his. Uh-oh. This could be a problem. But, let's see. Do we need one more land? We need one more land, don't we? Okay, if we start killing his guys, he's going to get flyers. I guess we'll bring that down. We'll attack with both. We have a choice. We'll make them equally deadly. He should be willing to block both of them, but he takes more damage. Okay, he knows he can get this, he just knows he can only do it once per turn, so he didn't want to lose his second creature. That is a good card to pair with Dramatic Finale. I'm willing to get rid of his gelatinous cube. Let's get rid of that one. Oh shoot, I did that wrong, didn't I? Oh, not necessarily. Okay, we got rid of all that, and then we bring him down. Still get rid of gelatinous cube. Thank you. Oh, no. Gotta be careful now. He doesn't have anything in there, but I can bring this guy out. And I can bring back... Let's bring back this and draw a card. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Do I want to sacrifice that? Let's see. I do want to attack with this guy. Oh good, he's giving up the necromancer. Perfect. Yeah, you can go ahead and attack. That was a bad mistake. Okay, first we get rid of the card he's got in his hand. Which was just a land. Then we get rid of the blocker. My opponent is impressed with the deck. Okay, now he needs some kind of board wipe or something to stop us. Did not have it. Alright, so you can see with the extra lands that we had, we were about to use Cave of the Frost Dragon. That was good to have just in reserve. We had one of the pathways out, so we didn't have any problems with land the entire time. He didn't have anything too big, so our portable holes worked. I don't know if I want to say we got lucky this time. I mean, it was an okay battle. We're not necessarily done with all the deck tweaking just yet, but we probably won't make a change as long as we keep winning, right? So let's go on to another test. Okay, test number 3 of the new deck. Start with Cave of the Frost Dragon. And you trust your old Tron Strat. We're not getting any black mana yet, which makes it difficult. That's a little bit better. Okay. Crack of Lightspawn comes in first. Flunk. Flunk does not work. That's why I didn't do it right away. We have foiled him. Okay, what do we want to do? Cleric. Necrosynthesis, that's a new one on me. Whenever another creature dies, put a +1/+1 on this creature. When the enchanted creature dies, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is its power. Put one of those cards into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So it's not even a creature, it could be anything. You dirty rat, you poisoned my cleric. Okay, fine. Let's go get a Teleportation Circle. Angelic Guardian is horrible. We'll do this anyway. No attacks. And we're going to target the Elder Fang and make them discard the card they have. It was a land. Let's see, whenever another non-token creature you control dies, return that card to its owner's hand. Oh, that's gross. Okay, so we'll do this instead. We will learn. We'll go get Necrotic Fumes. And that's all we're going to do with that. No attacks. End. Yes. Let's go get the other Teleportation Circle. didn't attack with Angelic Guardian for some reason. Okay. That's alright. We're going to use Necrotic Fumes. We're going to target this one. And we're going to exile Elderfang. No attackers. Do the Moonblessed Cleric again. Yes. Go get our final enchantment. That way we won't ever need to worry about doing that with her again. Ooh, Necrosynthesis. Whenever a creature dies. Okay. So now we put out this puppy. We go get Introduction to Annihilation. And we do this to your swamp. That gave us another card, which we need. No attacks. Don't need to do that anymore. Alright. Exile. Got a card. Is it a card you're going to play? Okay, I don't really care about that one. But this is cool. I get the benefit of 2 Sparring Regiments, which means we're already more powerful than the opponent's defending creature. Oh, that's lovely. An enchantment! I love enchantments now. You know why? Because we're going to do this. Each opponent sacrifices an enchantment. This is usually when they scoop. Ta-da! I love my predictions. Alright. This deck is starting to fire on all cylinders. We're getting our teleportation circles. We're getting at least one of them, right? If we're not drawing it immediately, we're doing it with the Moonblessed Cleric. We're getting our alternative lands that are really helping with the mana generation as we need it. And the interaction between Teleportation Circle and our different types of stuff is awesome. And since we have a sideboard now, those really helped us get out of pickles that really would have ended the game for us. Not too bad overall. Okay, we get to go first, which is always a good sign. Oh, that was a long time before they let me go. I'll have to have my crack editing team, the legions of people that keep chained up in the basement, take care of that. Just edit that. Do I want to have a second spell to cast right now? Yes, I do. I have Skyclave Cleric. Do I want a third spell, or do I put a tapped one down now? Let's put the tapped one down. Let's put the cleric down. Hopefully they have something more substantial than a land. I don't have lifelink on that one, so I guess no attacks. Skyclave Cleric is not the greatest card in and of itself, but it does have good value as a potential alternate land. And with the Teleportation Circle, the idea of constantly getting 2 life a turn is good. Or if I get a Sparring Regiment down, I can pump it up. But this is kind of why I'm not through tweaking the deck. Okay, let's see. We'll go ahead and put in the Vampire Spawn. No attacks. All my creatures are still too weak by comparison. We've had a couple of good matches, but this deck is not complete because your enemy has stuff. And right now my enemy has an advantage. We can make him get rid of somebody, I suppose. I don't have enough to use my Cave of the Frost Dragon yet. We don't have any board wipes, and we don't have much in the way of removal. And you can see they've got an Air Force now. And they're not afraid to use it. Okay. Now we can use Cave of the Frost Dragon at least. But we have to worry about instants. And now it's already too powerful for me to beat, right? So let's go kill one of the other ones. Still gonna take a lot of damage. Okay, what do we want to get rid of? I think we want to get rid of one of these. But we still don't want to attack, because this dragon has vigilance. Chaplain of Alms, flying and first strike. Hello. Aw, man. I didn't even finish reading the card before you killed my guy. Elderfang Disciple is not very useful anymore. Let's see, if you put anywhere into a graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. That's the transformed one. Which this one is just the Chaplain of Alms right now, not the transformed one. So first strike and ward. Okay, and that's... Okay, so only the cleric has the ward for now. Okay, what are we going to do? Let's make him sacrifice somebody. And let's draw a card. And it's another land. Well, we just basically flooded out with land is all we did here. He can fly right over our heads and kill us. Even the one lifelink wasn't going to help us there. And you can see if we don't get Teleportation Circle out, our deck is in a bit of a trouble. And here all he needed was an Air Force and some artifacts. And what is it in our deck that cannot deal, or that can deal with Air Force and artifacts and enchantments? Well, we didn't put anything in yet. So we had a good couple of rounds, but we do want to make it a more well-rounded deck. So that's what we're going to do next. Okay, so if we examine the deck, we've got 3 portable holes that deal with mana value 2 or less, which is not a lot. We've got Poet's Quill to get into the sideboard to exile some stuff, but we can't always count on that. We've got Demon's Disciple, but you saw how limited that was when he had tons of little 1/1s that he could get rid of. And we've got 2 Gelatinous Cubes, which would be good, and a Jarl of the Forsaken. These are all things that are not bad, but they're not the greatest for creature removal, especially since they're already getting into the more expensive areas. So the thing that we're going to need that we don't have yet is probably a board wipe. So since we're dealing with white and black, we've got a couple of options here. We've got Doomscar. I've got 2 of those. We'll go ahead and put those in. Now, Doomscar is a double-edged sword because I've got a lot of creatures, right? What do I have in here? 25 creatures. So, you know, if things go against me and I have to use a Doomscar, I'm probably going to lose a lot of my own. Okay, the other thing that we can do with the black cards is Blood on the Snow. Now with this, if I have snow lands, I can at least bring 1 creature back, which is more attractive to me, but it means that I need to make my land snow, which I haven't done yet. So let's go snow, go to lands. We got 9 swamps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And 9 plains. Let's get rid of those. Get the plains in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10. Do we have 10? Okay, so let's do a... What's our land count now? 25? That sounds about right. 3, 5. Yeah. Okay, so I kind of like that now. We've got snowlands. We've got 4 board wipes, which should be enough. We didn't put any other kind of removal in yet. So what if we get rid of the lands? We'll do an exile of our own that's in our deck. There are limits on these. Expel if they have vigilance, we're in trouble, but I want to try that. And then, what do we have for black here? Exile target creature or planeswalker. This because we don't have anything to do with planeswalkers specifically. But now we're up to 70 cards, and we're going to have to get rid of something. Because we don't... That's a little too far down the road, right? Now, we also are not quite finished because we still have to worry about artifacts and enchantments. So we're probably going to go back to white. And... Okay, hang on. Enchantment. Let's see, we could do a simple disenchant. What else could we do here? We could do destroy, we could do minimus containment. That's mostly it that I'm looking at. I like gaining life, so let's put invoke the divine in there for artifacts and enchantments. Okay. That's not a lot against artifacts and enchantments, so if they're heavy into that, we could still be in trouble. So we may not be done with that aspect of things. However, we do need to sacrifice something now. And what are we going to get rid of? Here's the problem when you fall in love with all the cards that you already have in your deck. Okay, let's get rid of a couple of Charm Strays and a couple of Elderfang Disciples. We'll split the baby, so to speak. And that's 67. That may be a little too top heavy, but we're gonna try it and see how we do. Okay, let's go from there. Alright, this is where the deck construction starts to get difficult because we have a lot of favorite cards in here, but we're a little top heavy now. We've got 67 cards, which is a little bit more than I want normally. Maybe we could live like this. That's what the tests are for. Start with Skyclave Cleric. We don't want to go too early on the Elderfang Disciples just because he might just get rid of extra lands. You see, he's ready with the third one already. Let's see. If we do that, we don't have another land for the Teleportation Circle, so let's do this first. He might have instant removal. We got rid of Sigrid, which is good for us because he's a 2/2 first striker. We don't need to worry about his protection spell. But he could exile one target attacking creature for a while. And we've already got... She's a Glorious Resurrector. Not good for us. We don't have the land, the color that we need properly to destroy everybody. Let's do another discard. No attacks. Here goes Teleportation Circle. We're going to take a beating here. Question is, will we be able to get things in place in time? Okay, I was hoping we'd get some land. Okay, let's try and get land here. It's a little risky. Might have to block with somebody next. Still didn't get land. Okay. Now, this is the problem of, because remember, we added more cards to our deck and we didn't get back down to 64. Normally, 64, 63 is a good cushion for me in my experience. Okay, so we'll block you. We'll block you, and we'll block you. Okay, now the problem is, do I have to discard at the beginning of our update? And we still didn't get a land. That is crazy. It's like 6 turns without a land or something. You have to get all the benefits. So we'll get rid of that. And we'll get rid of that. Might as well go get the life now. I don't know, why is this not working? Thank you. This can happen when you're building a deck and you try and build in something to answer everything. And that is not the right land that we needed. So we're just dead. Okay, so I take that as a sign that we do need to trim our deck a little bit more to have a reasonable chance of getting the lands that we need. Okay, let's change the deck layout. Let's look at this another way. We lost easily because we moved up to having 67 cards, and that interfered with the lands that we got dealt. We just got starved of land. However, I don't really feel comfortable playing a deck like this without having access to board wipes, because there's just way too many fast decks out there that could overwhelm us. Having a well-placed Doomscar could really make the difference between survival and instant death. I also don't want to get rid of the Blood on the Snows. 4 board wipes is a good number of total board wipes if you're going to take that route. So I don't really want to mess with the lands. I'm happy with the lands that I have. I don't want to upset the portal holes, so to speak. Is there anything else that I can do that would get me life? No, not really. Not the way I'm thinking of. So Dueling Coach hasn't come in yet. When it enters the battlefield, you put a +1/+1 on a target creature. And if the game lasts long enough, you can really pump them up. But it does cost 4 to get out. We haven't been able to use it yet. Theoretically, it's an excellent card to have and pair with Teleportation Circle. But we're at 3.2. So let's go ahead and subtract Dueling Coach. And let's go ahead and get off the fence on Charm Strays. We'll get rid of the 2 Charm Strays, so we'll only have 2 Elderfang Disciples. And that brings us down to 64. And so we still have removal, which we kind of need to have because otherwise our opponent could just really mop the floor with us with something unexpected. And we do have, you know, something to deal with enchantments and artifacts. We've got to try and find the white balance, and that's why this deck tweaking gets so frustrating, and you have to be patient with yourself, and you have to take enough time to look and see what do you really want out of the deck and what do you think is going to be effective. Because, you know, the first couple of matches that we had where we won, we didn't have any board wipes, and it worked marvelously. But then we needed a board wipe. We desperately needed a board wipe and didn't have one, and it instantly meant that we were going to die. So I do think that you do need to consider the board wipes for certain decks like this. There are some where you don't need them because it's just the way the deck is configured, the concept of the deck. With this one, I think under the current meta, with the way that, especially with the new Innistrad, with the way that they're developing all these token creatures that come into play even though they decay, it creates an urgency to the opening rounds that wasn't there before. So I think you do have to have a couple of Doom Scars, and if you last long enough, I think that the Blood on the Snows would be timed just right. Alright, so we'll try that. We do have here where we gain 2 life, and we gain 2 life there. And the reason I was looking at that was for the Cleric of Lifespawn for his life gain. So we've got enough other opportunities if we get Teleportation Circle out with him that we can do other things to still help pump him up. So maybe we don't need the cats after all. That's my rationale. Let's go run one more test, shall we?
Oh, hi, Mark.
Once more into the breach. Got kind of an expensive card to start with, but I do like having... Hello. Well, see, the deck works perfectly now. They're too afraid to even make a first move against me at all. That was wonderful. No tweaking required after this. Okay, we're going to try and do an honest test with somebody who will actually at least play a card. Let's do this. They gave us 2 of our most powerful cards. What else are you hiding up there? A duplicate legendary creature, so you probably think that doesn't hurt you too much. And they've already got synergies. Teleportation Circle in the house. No attacks. Discard another card. We made it a hard choice for them. We got rid of Curate. Okay, now they're going to try and play all their cards and not hoard them, which helps us. Maybe. Okay, let's do Portal Hole for you. And we'll bring down the Poet's Quill. And let's go get And we made them get rid of you find the villain's lair. Excellent. Now we just need to survive this lady's attacks. They're still holding on. Oh, I was going to say, they're still holding on to a card. Why would they do that? Oh, this is lovely. You go away, please. And we don't need to worry about attackers. And we can submit 0 for this turn. Now we're going through the rest of this one, huh? Are you going to take the shortcut? They're thinking about it. They probably want to make me lose 2 life. Oh, no, they're going. You going to sacrifice your artifact creature? And a land? Probably this land. We really made it so they have tough choices. Okay. What do we want to do next? We want to do this. We can attack. Find it, and we'll repeat the life gain, life loss that we're doing. Their counter spells didn't do any good, so they got rid of them because they knew we could make them discard them, and whatever they had that was left over was not enough. So we still didn't have quite enough land for the board wipe, but it was there if we needed it. It turns out that we're probably going to be in an either-or situation a lot of the time. We'll either get the Teleportation Circle out and we'll use the blinking abilities that it has and get us out of trouble, or maybe we won't get this out yet, and we'll need to use this to clear the field and just sort of equalize everything. So it's good to have options so that you're not just relying entirely on one trick in your entire deck. So that's a good enough test for now, I think. We'll probably leave the deck as it is. Oh, they want to make me a mulligan, don't they? They didn't give me any white mana. You know what? This is your fault, isn't it? Flow block. You blocked the proper flow of mana. And look at him try and be nice about it, too. You don't fool me. Maybe they'll let me keep all these cards. After all, I can't cast any of them. Doesn't like the Doomscar. Okay. They're thinking a lot, but they have a lot of information. They know I don't have any white mana out. They know I can't cast the Skeleton Archer yet. They should be pretty smooth and fast and happy with what they think they can do. You're not the only one who can discard, though. Or who can cause a discard. Yeah, I guess we'll block it. Give me land, please. That is a little long to go without land. That's pretty bad. That is pretty bad. What in the world happened to my deck? Is this because I won the last round? Are you punishing me? At last! Wow. That was a mistake, wasn't it? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? I need more land. What do we want to discard? Let's discard something big. This guy's waiting for creatures, isn't he? Surprise, I have more land. Okay, let's see. Let's do this. Should probably kill it right away, right? Give me Teleportation Circle. Alright, the other one's probably a Poison the Cup as well. I wonder if... does he have any other discard cards? Is he holding on to cheap stuff because he doesn't want to lose it to the portal hole? Is he really just going to do nothing? This whole time. I'm not going to do nothing. That's boring. You're going to lose some life, buddy. Go ahead, kill him. Kill him. There you go. I knew you could do it. You still lose your life, by the way. Didn't like the stuff he's getting. He did something. Wow. This is just awesome. Let's see if this does any good. Can I dissolve things now? I don't have enough mana, do I? These 4, I need to do an X plus 4. Let's do this. Lose more life. Lose some more life. Looking at the gelatinous cube, he probably wants to get rid of it. Oh, it chooses the vampire spawn instead. Do you have 2 removal you can cast in the same turn? Because you've been holding on to those cards for a while. There you go. He can do it. Gets another land out of it too. But you know what? That's what we have Blood on the Snow for. You come back. Cost him 2 life. End the turn. Cost him 2 more life. We haven't even hit him yet. We're just making him lose life. Okay, removal, 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 removal. What else could these be if they're not lands? Who are you bringing back? Who are you bringing back? I don't need to stop there. Get yet another land out. Go right ahead. I do get a turn after this though, right? Blizzard Brawl, okay. Big Meanie, whatever. Okay, you take out him. And you just come on down and give me another card, please. I like the stopper being pulled sound that comes off of that potion of healing. He knows I've got Expel. He can see that. Do I want to save Expel for Toski and just block with Yaragoth? Lifelink. Ooh, nice. Another Blizzard Brawl. Gets all his life back just like that. We're not saving for Toski now. Okay, I'm running out of stuff here. You mean, oops, you still got Toski, right? What do I got? I got card draw. That's all I got left. And I'm flooding out with lands this whole time. I rest my case. The only reason you're equal with me is you had a bear pulling out lands all the time. Now you're the one that gets the card draw. Now we're cooking with gas. Give me life and let me pump up the cleric. Yeah, now you're looking at Sparring Regimen, right? Now you know what it can do. Do you have something that destroys artifacts or enchantments? If I were you, I would go after Teleportation Circle. Are you going to go after Sparring Regimen, or are you going to get your Null Priest back? Ah, he knows, he learned. Very good, kind sir. There goes my card draw advantage. Can't stick anything in a hole. But I do have land finally that turns into a frost dragon. Attack with everybody? Sure. Sure. Here. We'll spread the love around. By all means, go get another land. It'll tie us up. That's really the important thing. Are we matched in the number of lands? Who cares about health points anymore? Health points are so passé. They're so last year. Killed another one of my guys. Still has more removal. He's probably going to hit me now. Did that card change anything? You just got to no. He ran out of fuel. All right. Okay, so this is the final version of the deck. We did get rid of all the Charmed Strays, but we ended up with 25 lands, 64 cards, and the reason why I'm willing to go over that 60 is because of the 3 potions of healing, where as soon as they enter the battlefield, you get to draw a card, and the 1 spare supplies, which when it enters the battlefield, I get to draw a card. So in my mind, that replacement value is just good enough, usually, that I can justify going a couple over the 60 limit. The added benefit of being able to do more card draw with these in combination with the Teleportation Circle really adds a lot of value if you can get both of those paired up together. We didn't have to use the board wipes yet, but this is probably one of my new favorite decks. I'll probably throw in another Teleportation Circle as soon as I get it organically, as soon as I win it in one of the cards from winning the matches, or maybe it'll come to me in a pack. We'll see. But I think we could stand to have maybe one more Teleportation Circle in, so we have a better chance of getting their combo going faster, more often, that kind of thing. But overall, I'm well pleased with how the deck turned out. We started with a concept. We went looking for the cards that would benefit the concept. We put them all together. We added in a good sideboard. We fixed our mana so that we could get good at getting the different colors that we would need in a timely manner. We added in the board wipes in case we're overwhelmed, which I think this deck calls for. Maybe not 100% necessary, but it's kind of the way that I like to do things. And we did go ahead and add in a couple of other removal cards that we didn't have before, so that we have a chance in case in case there is a Planeswalker that comes at us, we'll have a chance to find the card that answers that. And we also did, where's our little Invoke the Divine, so that if they come at us with mainly an artifact deck or an enchantment heavy deck, then maybe we'll be able to survive that by taking out something strategically that's one of the most important ones. So hopefully by the end of this, we've got a well-balanced deck, and we did good with our little deck construction advice. So go ahead and leave me a comment down below. Let me know if this is helpful to you. Let me know if you have other questions about deck building. Let me know if you think I did something wrong, or maybe there's a better card that you'd like to see involved in this deck, and I can put it in and test it out later and see how it does. Regardless, we've reached the end of our journey today as we test out this new deck for the 2022 Modern Standard. Thank you for joining me and being part of the lovely, the lovely, well-behaved audience. So you can be even better behaved if you click like and click subscribe and help out the channel, help us grow. And come back again, because there's always going to be another deck right around the corner here at Tpull's Corner. Have a good one.